What's up, guys, and happy Sunday. I'm so excited to be with you again, getting ready for another wonderful week in business. This is for all of my leaders out there, people who are responsible for leading. And I chose this specific topic to talk with you guys about how we can raise the level of vibration and consciousness of not only ourselves, but of the people that we lead. So, for those of you who aren't familiar, this book right here was given to me by one of my coaches a while ago, and it talks about a map of consciousness. And so, this is really about what we're doing. So, we're going to get this party started. Welcome back. If you're listening to this on Sunday and you leave a company, this is for you because Sunday is not just a reset for your calendar, it's a reset for your consciousness. And if you leave, your consciousness matters. Your company does not just feel your decisions, it feels your energy, feels your pressure, feels your fear, it feels your courage, feels your level of leading from. And that's what I want to talk about in the David Hawkins map of consciousness, because whether people realize it or not, most leaders are not just leading from strategy, they're leading from a state. And that state is either helping the business or quietly poisoning it. And that's the real question for Sunday. Not just, what do I have to do this week? But what level am I about to lead from? Because if I walk into Monday from fear, which happens a lot, my company feels the fear. If I walk into Monday from anger, then there too, guilty. My team feels the pressure. If I walk into Monday from pride, I stop listening. Okay. If I walk into Monday from courage, that's a turning point, guys. Clarity starts to return. And that really matters because people do not just hear leaders, they feel them. And that's really, if I think about it, where I've been guilty because I wear my heart on my sleeve. Okay. It's what are we carrying in from last week? So let's talk about the map of conscious and how it shows up in your business every day. I like Hawkins' map because it gives language to what leaders actually live through. Different levels create different behavior creates different culture creates different results. And if you're leading from shame, fear, anger, pride, your company is going to feel it very differently, and you are going to need to lead from courage, willingness, okay, acceptance. Y'all could use more acceptance, reason, peace. Very hard to do, especially in logistics. This does not mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be aware of how you're feeling. Because if you are not aware of your own personal state, your state starts running the company. And a lot of leaders call it passion, which is really it's fear. They call it standards when really it's anger. They call it confidence when really it's pride. And this is why self-awareness is not soft. Self-awareness is profitable because unconscious leaders create expensive problems. Lower levels create heavy leadership. Let's talk about what the lower levels look like, because this is where a lot of leaders live with pressure hits. Shame. Shame says, I'm not enough. If this goes wrong, I'm the problem. Shame makes people hide or overperform on the other end or pretend. And none of that is clean leadership. I should be by now. Guilt creates emotional debt, and leaders carrying emotional debt start overcompensating everywhere. Apathy. Apathy is dangerous because apathy does not look dramatic. It looks numb. It sounds like, what's the point? This is where the version starts dying. Then we have grief. Grief in business is real. Sometimes you are grieving a customer, a team member, a deal, a a season, a version of the company you thought would happen by now. And if you don't process grief, okay, you start leading from disappointment, and that's not going to get you anywhere. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is a huge one for leaders. Fear micromanages, fear overthinks, fear catastrophizes, fear makes everything urgent, fear does not leave, fear controls. Now we can go into anger. Anger feels productive, but it has like a lot of energy behind it. But anger-led leadership creates too much pressure. It's a sharp tone, it's blame, it's reactivity, it's a room where people can get smaller instead of better. And then we have the pride. Pride is the sneaky one because pride wears a nice little outfit. Pride says, I know, I got this. I don't need your feedback. I'll prove them wrong, but pride can prevent your growth. So because pride protects your ego, there's not a lot of truth in that. So here's the problem. A lot of leaders are living in these lower levels and calling it drive. They're calling it's just distortion, okay? If your leadership feels heavy, like check the level it's coming from, okay? Which it does at all times. Like these are things that are normal. But as these are running the show, it's not really helping you. What we need to do is get to the courage. Courage is the turning point. Now, this is where Hawking gets really helpful because courage is what matters. Because below courage, leadership contracts. But above courage, this is where we can get leadership. This is where you can stop avoiding the truth. Courage says the numbers are the numbers. This person is not working out. The system is broken. The culture problem starts with me, okay? The strategy is not enough anymore. I need help. I need to change. That is courage. It's not hype. It's not performance. It's not pretending, okay? Real strength tells the truth. Courage is the moment a leader stops performing strength and starts using it. A lot of breakthroughs in business do not begin with a better strategy. They begin with a harder truth. And it's so important, right? And Sunday is the perfect day for truth because before Monday starts demanding things from you, like you can't even imagine, Sunday lets you check on what you are made of. All right. And I think that's so important. A hard truth you have to face in business. Okay. So let's talk about willingness because this is where we start to get powerful. Willingness says, I'm ready. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to listen. I'm ready to improve. I'm ready to build the systems. I'm ready to wave my white flag, stop making excuses. I'm ready to do boring things well. I'm ready to be disciplined, okay? Because willingness removes the resistance. And resistance, unfortunately, is expensive. It wastes time, it delays results. And we've all been there, right? Lack of patience. So the moment you stop resisting your reality, you can get your power back. Willingness allows you to stop being dramatic and start becoming effective. And this is a major shift for leaders, not just for you. This is what I'm doing, guys. This is what I need. And those are not the same thing, okay? You need to have some willingness because hard work without self-awareness is just going to burn you out in a nice outfit, okay? So as you become more coachable, more disciplined, and more willing to change, all right, then you can start going into the next one, which is acceptance, okay? Then we get there. And this time, acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is seeing clearly. Acceptance says, this is where we are. This is what happened. This is what needs to happen next. This is your power because many leaders waste so much of their energy arguing with their reality. This should not be happening. This person should be different. The number should be way up right now. The market should be better. The customer should understand. My team should already know this. But this is not where we are. And leaders do not get paid to argue with the reality. They get paid to lead through it. It's just how it has to be. So you don't have to be stronger by denying your reality. You get stronger by leading through it. So acceptance clears the static. It lets you stop fighting for what is and start building what's next. So that's leadership. And this is really happening in my business because at a time we stopped fighting and just said, okay, we've got to do something different here. So I have to focus more. Here comes reason. Okay, let's look at X. Let's solve the real problem. Let's stop reacting emotionally. Let's stop making everything personal. Let's build the system. Let's get honest. Let's think because reason creates objectivity. And objectivity is gold in leadership because emotional leaders create unstable companies. Guilty. And I'm not trying to do that anymore. All right. Panic is expensive. I've been there, done that. Clarity prints money. I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. Okay. I'm working along with this with you. Okay. And so when we have clarity, okay, what do we need to do? A calm mind makes better money than a chaotic one. Moment that when facts or systems and logic just become one of those things where you just have to do it. So let's talk about how Hawkins talks about love and peace and authenticity. And these are the things that really begin to elevate your business. And I just don't mean love in like the soft way or like the unconditional way, like, hi, I'm still going to love you. It means service. It means building people. It means like, I care about you personally and what happens to you no matter what. I want to see you successful. I want to challenge you without humiliating you. I want to build something that actually means something. And this kind of leadership creates loyalty. And I know I got that. So then we rise to peace, right? Peace is steadiness. Peace is when you can hear bad news without it becoming a death sentence. Peace is when you do not leak your panic onto everybody else. This is powerful. This is real. This is what real leaders work towards, and it's a practice. Okay, nobody's perfect. The strongest leader in the room is usually the calmest one. And I understand that this is how we need to move our company forward. All right. I haven't always been the calmest one, but when I practice that, that's when my true leadership comes out. So it is Sunday. Here we are, the real questions. What level was I leading from last week? Fear, anger, pride, courage, willingness, acceptance, reason, was it peace? These are all the things that are driving me. Where do I go when the pressure hits? Do I control? Sometimes. Do I explode? Not very much. I do defend and I do sometimes overperform. You know, those are some of my weaknesses. So the level that I would like to choose this week is courage. Okay. I want to choose courage because I believe it's a turning point. Okay. Consciousness, because your company can only rise to the level of consistency that you embody. You cannot build a peaceful company from a panicked mind. And we all could use a little bit more peace. Just remember, your business mirrors the level you normalize. So I want to talk to you before we end this beautiful show today. Monday gets here. Name the level you are living in next week. Okay? Be honest. What did that level cost me? What did it cost my team? What did it cost the company? And then ask yourself, what is the next higher level? If I was in fear, what would courage look like? If I was in anger, what would acceptance look like? Okay. If I was in pride, what would the willingness look like? Okay. So these are the things I want you to think about. If you were chaotic, Could you go to reason? This is the solution. This is how we raise our not only our company's vibration, but our own vibration. And I think it's important for us to have some self awareness when it comes to our feelings, okay? And then how we are showing up for our company. Because at the end of the day, there are as many things that, you have the news that's hitting us with fear. You have things that are, that are coming at you every single day that want you to stay stuck in this lower vibration, okay, of anger, guilt, shame, and fear. And we really need to move to courage, acceptance, peace, love. And it even goes higher, guys. I will tell you this from the bottom of my heart. I always say, this is my very best one-liner. I say, sex doesn't sell, excitement sells. And why does excitement sell? Okay. Sex is exciting. That's why sex sells, by the way. But it's excitement. Excitement is the thing that really raises your vibration. Okay. So when you're hit with bad news, okay, what can you get excited about? What can you feel joy about? These are the things that I work on a constant basis. And I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form. I can tell you that as I was preparing for this podcast, I am so guilty of leading from a lower level. But I know that this is the antidote. And again, give yourself permission to be imperfect, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. It's a practice. And some things that hit really do feel like, oh my God, is it the end of the world? Like, some of it is really, really heavy. Okay. Now it's up to you, right, to decide how long you're going to stay in those really heavy things. Because the moment that you choose courage, acceptance, joy, excitement, love, okay, all of these things are going to take you and the people that you lead to the next level. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Okay. Again, remember how much the cost of staying in that lower vibration is. What is it costing your business? What is it costing your people? And then how long are you going to choose to stay in that? And then how do you turn it again to something positive? So I want to thank you again for listening to me. If you haven't, this book is phenomenal. Okay. I was gifted to it by my coach, Dave Van Hoos. Dave, if you're watching, thank you so much for this. Thank you for the gift of Marty. And just remember that we all gotta love each other. Okay, we gotta love it. So I hope you have an amazing week, and that you're walking in this week from a level of courage, love, and authenticity. And I hope you get excited. So thanks again for your time. If you found some value from this, please like and subscribe and share. I would really appreciate it. And just know that, it means everything to me. And Sundays I'm sort of reserving right now to, just take a little spiritual edge, right? I'm adding my flavor onto how I lead, and I want to share it with you. Okay. I wanted to get an edge in business, and this is my edge right here. All right. It's not just about making money and showing up for customers. It's about how I lead the people in my life. Okay. And what I'm here to do as my purpose. So I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy some time with your family, and I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching.